Good morning, everybody. It's Ben Baker, and welcome to the YourLIVINGBrand.live show. It's April 4th, 2018, and what a beautiful day. Well, you know what? For those of you who don't know, this show is all about who we are, what we do, why we do it, and why people care. It's all about telling an effective story. My name is Ben Baker. My company, 9 to 5, Monday to Friday, is Your Brand Marketing. And what do? We consult, we provide workshops, and we speak on brand message, market vision, and value. We want to help you tell your story. And that's what this show is all about. It's about finding out other people's stories, other companies' stories. What makes them unique? What makes them different? What makes them not a commodity? Why should people care? Because when your clients understand what you do, when you can solve a problem that they already have, and you can be that trusted soul, you know what? They're going to keep coming back to you. And that's the trick. The trick is to not be a commodity. It's not to be another Me Too. It's not to compete on price. It's to figure out what are the little things? What are the little things that you can do that are going to endear you to your audience? Not everybody's going to buy from you. Not everybody is your customer. But those who are, those whose problems you can really solve, if you can tell them a great story and have them repeat it, and they believe in it, and they engage with it, they're going to be customers for a long time. Now, this week I have Kimberly Alexander coming to me from Denver. Kimberly is a great guest. She not only provides a lot of coaching and consulting for her clients, but she's also a fellow speaker. And she believes in potential and how do you get the best out of people and how do you get the best out of companies. I'm going to let her tell her story. So sit back, enjoy, and I'll be back to say goodbye after the show. Kimberly, thank you very much for being on the show today. It is always a pleasure talking to you.
Well, I am absolutely thrilled to be here. Thank you for having me, Ben.
Well, you know what? It's great, that you were able to take the time. I mean, I know you travel worse than I do. I mean,
I'm on a lot of planes.
That's right. You probably had a point in time where you walk on the plane and the pilot expects that, oh, she's back. Okay.
Right. It's getting close to that, it feels like these days. But
that's right. Yeah. I had that super elite status. I'm not sure I really want it back, but
Yeah, it's I'm not quite there either. Don't want to be, but yeah, I'm hopping a decent amount of planes these days. So
that's good. It's fun.
Yeah.
Well, you get to see people all over the place. You get to talk to different audiences. You get to always be up and listening to what's new and exciting. I mean, everybody thinks about it from the audience points of view, but when we're up there speaking, it's about finding out more about our audience too.
Right.
Because, that's the passion. The neat thing is the engagement with an audience and being able to find out what are they about.
Right. Absolutely. Without question.
Exactly. So let's get into the meat of this show. For those people who don't know, this show is all about how do you add value? What makes you special? What makes you unique? Why do your clients love you? Why do they care? Because every business is unique. Every business is different. Every business has a story to tell. If you don't tell your story, if people don't understand why you're unique, you're just a commodity. You're just one of many, and then you're competing on price. So I always want to know, my guest, what makes you different? Tell me the story of where you came from, where you are, and where you're going.
Wonderful. I love it. Well, I was in the corporate world for a little over 25 years, and I'm one of those crazy people that I loved every minute of it. And as I was climbing the corporate ladder, so to speak, I ended up in roles that were, ironically, we're talking about traveling, but, it grew, from 25% up to 85% of my time. I was on a plane in different markets, things like that, landing national roles. And so I found that I was totally depleted. I was never home. I had, two beautiful little girls and a husband at home, and thinking, my whole life is passing me by, and what am I doing? And, you start questioning these things of what the heck am I doing? And so I truly went cold turkey one day, and never thought in life I would ever be an entrepreneur. Again, loved my career. My career was good to me. Never even thought about it. And I looked at my boss one day and I said, I think I need a new season in my life. And really what had happened then is I was traveling and I was exhausted, and I came home, and my daughters were 2 and 4 at the time, really young.
Oh, they were really young.
Really young. And they had done sidewalk chalk on the driveway. And of course, our kids are brilliant, without saying, right? Works of art on the driveway. And so, of course, goes without saying. And so I remember I pulled the car up and kind of cockeyed onto the driveway. And I remember not even turning the engine off. I couldn't wait to get out and see what they had done. And suns, moons, flowers, all these things. And in the middle of the driveway, there were 3 stick figures. There was a daddy and 2 little girls, and I was virtually left out of the picture. And I mean, heartbreaking.
Oh, totally.
Heartbreaking. And I thought, at that point, I could either continue down this road, or I could make a conscious choice to make positive change and to really create a new season in my life. And at that point, I really realized that I need to make some positive changes. I was 30 pounds overweight, completely unhealthy, had no idea, just spinning out of control. And so I thought, okay, this is not what I signed up for. I don't think anyone ever does. And all of a sudden you look up and you're in this miserable existence.
Right.
And so I took everything I loved. I talked to my husband. He said, do it. Next day I resigned, with my not quite knowing what even this space looked like. And honestly, I mean, never looked back. Got a business loan, and 6 years later, here we are.
Amazing.
High hills and valleys, and laughing, lots of tears, lots of heartbreak, lots of celebrations. And I find that being an entrepreneur is like following life. You're going to have your highs and lows and your ups and downs, but there's nothing like living your life on purpose and really bringing your story to fruition and helping others do the same.
Exactly. Yeah, and that's a scary thing to do. I mean, most people who have never made that jump from employee to entrepreneur and actually cross that chasm, it's a terrifying place to be. I mean, I personally haven't had a paycheck in 22 or 25 years.
Right.
And everybody sits there and goes, oh, you have all this freedom. You can do this, you can do that, you can do everything. But you're right. There's like everything else in life. There's the real big highs and the real low lows. And it's a matter of being able to manage your life through those. Yes. And being able to thrive. So, good for you for jumping the chasm. It's
Thank you. And it really was cold turkey. It wasn't
absolutely
anything. I just did it.
Yeah.
And because I couldn't take another day of my life passing me by. And so I actually had written a series of, okay, how can I do this? And I actually wrote different ways of how I could work through everything and figure everything out and live life and build a business and, be present in everything that I did. And so I actually developed this program that truly, in essence, saved my life. And I wanted to get out from a corporate roof and share this learning with the world, because, you can have it all. Right. Depending on what it is that you want. But you really can have it all if you make the right decisions that mirrors the life that you want to live. You really can. And boy, I do miss that corporate American Express every once in a while.
It's been so long I don't remember it, but
it's not even the paycheck, it's the corporate American Express that I really miss. But other than that, I found that within the entrepreneurial space, I always managed and led teams and things like that, big initiatives, and I missed that, and so I created it.
Right.
And the different things that were offered in the corporate world, you can recreate and reinvent yourself in the entrepreneurial space as well. And so it's been it's been really like journey life's work. It's been pretty incredible. I feel very, very blessed, very lucky to be here.
That's great. And so tell my audience a little bit more about, who are your customers? What type of work do you do for them? Why do they find you valuable? I mean, that's the key thing, because that's really how you were able to make that, that jump across the chasm, is because you have a clear idea of who are the people that you serve. And having that true definition of that allows you to be laser focused about who you can help and who you can't help.
Right, exactly. And I love that question, Ben, and it is a massive passion of mine. And I call it staying in your lane.
Right.
First of all, I mean, really owning your expertise, and then really owning who it is that you serve.
Yeah.
And, especially out of the gates, I think entrepreneurs, business owners, they just want to, I'll take whatever dollar I can get. And, at the end of the day, I'll never forget, my mom telling me, when I was a little girl, you've got one name. You only have one name. And it really is true in the business world as well.
Yeah.
But I work with women entrepreneurs, and you get men too. I work with men as well, but generally my brand is serving women entrepreneurs,
sure,
coaches, speakers, authors, and some service-based businesses that want to break past that 6-figure mark and build to 7, so they can share their message with the world.
Right.
So my audience is very passion-driven, very purpose-driven. They've got a message, they have a solution to get people out of pain and to influence lives and to help build businesses. And I'll never forget, I had a client tell me, Kimberly, I just can't let this die inside of me. And so my audience is very, very specific. It's about serving.
Right.
And then the people show up and the business does happen. And of course, you've got to have the strategy and all those things around it. But at the end of the day, they want to change and influence lives in a very transformational way. And so it's very, very specific on who it is that I will even bring on and work with, because it's their work has to matter. So it's not about, and we need to make money and we need to keep the lights on and feed our kids every once in a while.
Exactly.
Every once in a while, but at the end of the day, they just want to make a difference in people's lives. And so my expertise is growth strategy. So you have a program, you have a book, whatever that is. I show you how to really look at that strong foundational platform and how to scale it several different ways around time, budget, readiness, and experience.
Right.
And you ask what makes me different, is really with me is I'm very how-to. There's not a lot of fluff with me. It's like, you want to learn how to really do this thing.
Yeah.
I'm very step 1, 2, 3, 4. I mean, you get all of the guts with me, not a lot of fluff.
Yeah.
I find that people are like, just give me the formula. The second thing is that my mantra is 5-star or don't do it. So it is over delivery at all times, and anything within my company is an experience. And so you're not a name, you're not a cookie cutter. You're a person, and we love you, we dote on you, and really ensure that you matter.
Right.
Thing to fold in is that I really is one of the best things I could have done is I have developed a training team and a team of partners. So I have experts from branding, marketing, communication, all that stuff that you need. So I've got a team of 6 incredible women entrepreneurs that come in alongside me and serve my audience. So you don't get growth strategy, you get everything around you that you need to really do this thing and do it well at 5-star.
And that's huge, is realizing that you too have Achilles heels. There's things you can't know everything. You can't have done everything.
That'd be boring.
You can't be an expert in everything. It's impossible. I don't care who you are in life. It's impossible to know everything. And the more we can surround ourselves with good people that have expertise in things that we don't have, and be able to sit there and say, you know what, when it comes to this, I'm going to rely on this person. When it comes to this, I'm going to rely on this person.
Yes.
And be able to have it within your soul that you're comfortable enough with who you are and what you do to realize that sometimes it's better to bring somebody else in to better serve your clients.
Yes.
That you're doing your clients a disservice by knowing everything, because you can't.
Right.
To say that I can do it all for you, well, you can't. But if you can have relationships and say, you know what, you need a website developed. You know what, we have a team that we work with, or we have 3 teams that we work with. Let's find the right team that works best for you.
Right. Exactly. And honestly, Ben, I was so tired of, and I really do believe that people out in the world, they have every intention to do right by people. I don't feel like there's a lot of people out there scamming, but there are some people that don't realize that they aren't probably doing the best work in the world. And I have so many people coming in my office saying, I just spent 10,000, I just spent 17, up to 50,000, and I'm more confused now than ever. And so as this was happening, or I wish I would have met you 6 months ago, because I am virtually tapped out and I can't even hire you. And so what I found is that let me put, knowing what my audience needs, let me put those really incredible experts in my audience and bring all the solutions to them. Of course, you're not going to hire 7 people at one time, but I was so tired of people getting a little taken. And I really believe it's by design, but, that can take some entrepreneurs in certain spaces, that can take them down, and so call me Mama Bear, but it's just important to me that I see that entrepreneurs are served in the right way. And sometimes I'll come and they may not need me first. They might need my sales expert or my communication expert to get their existing business back up on the ground. That's a big thing with me, is we always want to be creating the bright, shiny new things when sometimes, is the foundation and core of your business strong? And you should never be creating new until your foundation is strong and ensuring that is in its place. So a lot of times I'll send them off and go work over here for 6 months, and then maybe in a year you'll be ready for me. So I think it's just what I'm really big on is leading with your heart, and just taking care of the people and what they need. And if they never work with you, or they do, it's about we're all in this together, right? And so it's ensuring that people are being taken care of with what they need for the now, and then looking to the future for their growth.
Exactly. I mean, I have people that I refer people to be really blunt about it, when they can't afford me.
Right.
I cannot serve everybody as you can't. I mean, it's impossible. If 200 people called me tomorrow, I couldn't handle them. I can handle 10. I might be able to 15. 15 would be stretching it.
Yeah.
But there are people out there in the world, that desperately need help. And if I can point them in the right direction, if I can show them the right places to go and the right things to do, you know what? I may not make a dime off of it, but it doesn't matter. Because they're taken care of.
Right.
And that to me is more important than making $1 off every single person.
Exactly. And that taking care of that person, it'll come back tenfold to you. Yeah. I mean, that's how the universe works, I'm convinced. Yeah. It really is. Yeah.
And all of a sudden you get a tap on the shoulder because their husband or their wife or somebody that they know owns a $50 million company and can use your service and can afford your service and needs your service.
Right.
So my attitude is take care of everybody. And if you can't help them, instead of just pushing them to the side, give them a little nudge. Just say, you know what, if you look a little to your right, there's something that can support you. And if it takes 5 minutes of your time or 10 minutes of your time, who cares? It doesn't matter. You know what? Better to serve people and to leave people a little better off than where they started than to ignore people. And too many people are out there ignoring people, and it drives me crazy.
Right, agreed. I second that.
Yeah. So when you're working with a new client, what's the process that you go through? Because as you said, you're like me. You're picky about the people you want to deal with because you want to help them succeed.
Right.
You want to help them succeed. So is there an onboarding process that you work with when you're interviewing a new client, when you want to, make sure that there is a right fit, that you are actually going to be able to help them and support them?
Yes, absolutely. And, it was interesting. I have this year mastermind that launches in September. And I had someone call me up in January and said, I want to sign up for your mastermind. And I said, it's so exciting. Let's have a conversation around that. Why don't you, and she said, no, really, I'm really ready to register. And I said, well, I want to ensure it's the right fit for you. So you might need some help and some support, but you may not need a year program. You might just need all these other things I do over here on the side that is not to that level of depth and investment. So usually what I will do, whether someone wants 2 minutes with me or a year with me, right, is I will look at all of everything that they're doing. So I'll look at social media. I will look at their website. I will have them, I'll sign an NDA, and I will have them send over their programming to me. So I can kind of take a look at not only if they are my person, or if I should say if I'm their person, if I'm a fit. But secondly, it's because I've got one program, I've got 18 different ways of how I serve with that one way of learning. So it's where do they need to start? So what I love is to kind of, in essence, write a prescription for them of, sometimes it's, hey, let's get together for a few hours, work through some things, and I'll see you in 6 months. Other times it's let's all come on board right away. And so we talk through those different options of what's going to serve them in the here and now, and kind of what they want the end result to be. What they're looking to accomplish. I mean, even down to, all right, well, understand if you want to be $1 million business versus a $100,000 business, let's talk about how your business will change. Yeah. Because what you're doing now versus having $1 million business is you need to run things very, very differently. You need to different things that you'll need. And most people don't really understand that. And so we have a really nice about hour conversation around what all this looks like, what you want the end result to be, what you dream of, what you want to build out, and the whys around it. I'm really sure that the core values are there. Yeah. It's not just to get credit cards, it's to make a difference. And that really big telltale for my true targeted audience is they just want this so badly because they want to change lives. And so we just have a really nice, very candid, very open conversation. I mean, kind of with me, what you see is what you get. I just don't have the skill set to be a game player. This is it. So
you see what's wrong, and you sit there and say, here's some ways that we can fix this together.
Exactly. And so a lot of times I like to give them a few different options, and then they can pick based on what type of monetary investment, time investment that they're ready for. So
yeah. And it's interesting that you said is the whys, and to me, it's like people say, oh, I want to be $1 million business. Okay. Why do you want to be $1 million business? And do you understand what that means to be $1 million business? Because there's some companies where you're going to take home a lot less as $1 million business than you will be as a $500,000 business.
Oh my gosh, Ben, I love that you said that, because let me tell you, when I was a solopreneur, when I was building to 7 figures, there were times that I was in that like $400,000 to $600,000 range, gross revenue. We're talking gross revenue. Yeah. But there were times, because my business got so expensive, that I was making more as a solopreneur, than I was. I mean, this whole team of people and hundreds of thousands of dollars, I was actually bringing home less than I was when it was just me, myself, and I.
And 250,000.
Oh, very easily, $250,000 250,000, you could still be a really rock star solopreneur with maybe some few very hobby level consultants on the side. You can still be running a really phenomenal business. And, you know, there are reasons as to why I'm building this empire. You know, sometimes I think I'm a bit crazy, but most of the time I'm loving it. But I have my core values and my whys. It's not to have my name in lights. Mm-hmm. You know, it's a true purposeful calling to, I just take myself back to the sidewalk chalk, and it's like, I can't be the only woman on this planet struggling to do great work in the world and can't get together, you know. And so, you know, I want to help as many women see their dreams come to fruition as much as possible. And it's not about my name in lights. It's about making a difference in the world, and it takes a certain type of platform in order to do that. And so, you know, my business is very expensive, and I wouldn't encourage it unless it was for really truly the right reasons to build out something like that.
Absolutely.
I know so many clients that, boy, they're at that $200,000, $250,000 range, and they have got an incredible business and doing great things in the world.
Yeah, so, absolutely. Yeah. I am far happier now than I was when I was a $5 million business with a partner and 30 staff.
Yes.
I am, trust me, I'm nowhere near $5 million today. You know, I'm happier. I have more time with my family. I do the type of things I want to. I'm not taking all the time to manage the staff. You know, the $250,000 a nut, you know, monthly nut that you have to crack before you make $1. You know, there's a lot of things, and most people sit there and say, "Oh, I need to grow to be a certain size business." Well, the thing is, most people don't understand that there's a real big pain point.
Oh yeah.
That they're going to reach that 1 million. Maybe it's a $1 million, maybe it's $3 million, maybe it's $5 million, but they're going to reach a point where it's going to be far more painful and far less profitable for them to be a bigger company than a smaller company. Right. And either you push through that, or you go backwards, and you have to know who you are as a person.
Exactly. You know, one of the things I talk to is actually on my homepage, my tagline says it's time to grow big, and it's not about being, you know, having to growing your business to an empire. It's about how you show up.
Yeah.
You know, and how you deliver and how you serve. Serving big is serving whole heart. It's serving full. Absolutely. It's serving A to Z. It's giving all of your might to help that person grow and do what they put on this earth to do. And so it's about how you show up versus, you know, not everyone is built to have an empire. Yeah. You know, and I may not have an empire my whole life. You know, for now, it feels right and I'm in the right space, but
absolutely.
You know, it's running at a different level, and I can see scaling back in 5 or so years and seeing what that next season looks like. But yeah, it's a totally different ballgame. I'm right with you, my friend.
But it's right for you now. So that's the important thing.
It is. Now, and I'm loving every minute of it.
Cool. Yeah. Now, let me ask you one last question before we walk out the door.
Okay.
I can't believe we've been talking for 25 minutes.
Wow.
Now, I know it just goes amazingly quick. I mean, you've been amazing. You've been absolutely amazing.
I can talk to you all day long.
I know. We could talk off air for another hour, but, you know, that's another story. But when you walk out the door, when you get in your car and you drive away, what's the one thing you want people to think about you and your company when you're not in the room?
Oh, that's such a great question. The flavor and the feeling that I want people to be left with is that they trust me, that they feel in working with me that they're coming out better, stronger, not full of hope, but full of determination, that they really truly believe that they can do this thing.
That's great.
And that is really the thing that matters most to me. It's not about the bright and shiny stuff. You know, that's all stuff. But at the end of the day, if they really believe and understand and know that they can do this thing, I've done my job.
You've empowered people to succeed. What a wonderful thought to have it, to have people think about. If people can think that you've helped them be better off, what an amazing thought process.
Yes. Yeah. That's always the end goal, without question.
I love it. Love it. Kimberly, you've been an amazing guest. Thank you very much. Hang out in the green room a second. I'm just going to say goodbye to everybody, and I'll be right back.
Wonderful. Thanks for having me.
Hey, thanks for being here. I hope you enjoyed our time with Kimberly Alexander. She has been an absolutely amazing guest. The energy is incredible, and she truly believes in her client. She believes that, she can help them. She believes in making things better, and she believes in seeing success at their level. What do these customers see as success, and define success based on their terms, not on hers. And that's important, because if you look at the goals based on what your client's goals are and not on your own, you know what? Goals will be met, both yours and theirs. And that's what it's all about. Monday to Friday, 9 to 5, my company is Your Brand Marketing. What do? We consult, we provide workshops, and we do keynote speeches on brand, message, market, vision, and value. We want to be your storyteller. We want to help you engage your audience. We want to help you tell a better story. Come visit us. Now, every Wednesday, it's Wednesday today, every Wednesday at 10 o'clock in the morning, the YourLIVINGBrand.live show goes on. Come and join us. We'd love to have you here. Have a great day.